it going, everybody? My name is Metalcore and welcome back to another Call of Duty mobile video. Now today's video might look a little bit different because there is no webcam, and that is because it is a tips and tricks video. More specifically, this is the top 3 beginner weapons that you guys should use right when you start playing the game. This guide is meant purely for players who just started playing the game or who need some guidance to figure out a good and easy weapon, and a weapon you unlock very low level so that you can use it right away. Now, if you guys are brand new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe for more content like this involving Call of Duty mobile tips and tricks, live streams, and awesome gameplay, as well as the occasional spending money and getting bad luck in the crates. But anyways, let's talk about the 3 beginner weapons that we're going to be using today. Now, all 3 of these weapons are weapons you unlock very early on. I specifically chose weapons that you like very specifically unlock because I don't know if the daily login rewards might change, because for example, you can get a PDW from logging in on the second day you get a free PDW skin. I don't know if that's going to change down the line, so we're purely going to be looking at these 3 weapons. Now, the 3 weapons we are going to be looking at, one is an LMG. Now, that is the RPD. I'll be talking about that weapon, why it's really good for a beginner, and we'll be talking about attachments, perks, all that fun stuff going down the line when we're in this video. The second weapon is an M4, an assault rifle, another great weapon. You literally unlock it. It's the first weapon you unlock in the game. And then the third weapon we'll be looking at is the AKS-74U, one of my favorite weapons to use. It's a submachine gun. So that concludes the 3 weapons that we'll be looking at today, the best beginner weapons that I think, after playing and putting in hours of the game, and also putting in hours of each weapon that I've listed off. Again, one's a submachine gun, one's a light machine gun, and one is an assault rifle. We'll discuss what that means later down in the video, but let's jump in to the first weapon. Alright, so let's jump into the first weapon, which is the RPD. The weapon is a light machine gun, meaning that when you're moving around, it's going to feel a little bit slower because each weapon has a statistic called mobility. If we compare the RPD's mobility to, let's say, an M4, the mobility from the RPD is 40 and the M4 is 60. The higher mobility, the faster you move. The highest mobility you can get, I think, is with a knife maybe, which is 100. Let's check this out. Yeah, no, actually the mobility you get with a knife is 90, and same with a pistol and stuff like that. So basically your mobility depends on how fast you're moving on the battlefield, and the RPD or any light machine gun, as well as snipers, those are weapons that you're going to be moving a lot more slower. So it's very easy to get used to because it's a little bit more slower paced. On top of that, light machine guns have tons and tons of ammo. You could put an extended mag on there and have well over 100 shots in your clip, and I think the RPD has the most amount of shots you can have in one magazine. Now, the RPD is a weapon you unlock at level 19, so you do have to work your way up to get this weapon, but it is very easy to get to level 19 very quickly. The other 2 weapons that we're going to be talking about, the AKS, you unlock it at level 8, and the M4, you unlock it instantly. But I wanted to start out with the RPD because it's a slower weapon, and I think it's a little bit easier because you basically could just spray and pray and just keep on shooting your weapon because it has so much ammo. Let's talk about the attachments that I like putting on the RPD or any light machine gun. Now, very personally, I love putting on the red dot sight, and that is because the thing about light machine guns is they are so much more slower than all the other weapons. And personally, I like being super fast-paced gameplay, so submachine guns, stuff like that. I love moving around the map super fast. So the best thing I could do for myself is make the RPD or any light machine gun faster. And the best thing you could do is put a red dot sight to have that happen. I also put a quick draw, which then increases your aim speed, meaning that you're going to be moving faster when you're aiming down your sights. And then I always, on every single weapon, there might be some kind of very specific weapons that I don't do this on, but every weapon in today's video we're going to be putting a foregrip on, and that increases your accuracy, reduces recoil while aiming down the sights. So basically it allows you to shoot the weapon a lot more accurate, and I always put on a foregrip on my submachine guns, my assault rifles, my light machine guns. It helps out a lot, and I highly recommend foregrips. And then I have the extended mag in the LMG, or I guess more specifically the RPD, because I want as many shots as possible. And if you do want to switch up the scopes, you can put on the tactical scopes. A lot of pro players like Ferg and people like that, they like putting on the tactical scope because it's pretty OP having a tactical scope and a light machine gun. It's like almost a meta for pro players in the ranked scene, the people who are high on the leaderboards. A lot of those good players use tactical scopes just because it's so good. Let's jump in to the secondary weapon that I would suggest. If you want to move a lot more faster, you can get a knife to, move around super fast and be slicing people, but you'd still get the same speed boost if you have a pistol. I am using the J358, the revolver, so you can use any pistol really. You can use the MW11, I think it's the 1911 is what it's called in real life. I don't know why it's called the MW11 in this game. You can use a knife, you can use a pistol, anything to move faster. And more specifically, if you're reloading, it takes forever to reload a light machine gun, so it's always good to have a secondary. In terms of operator skills, if you were able to unlock the Sparrow skill during the event, I would suggest using that. If not, Scythe, the heavy light machine gun thing, that is absolutely amazing, and I'm going to recommend either or throughout the video. And on top of that, the perks that I'm going to be using, these are perks that I would recommend all of you guys use, and these are perks that allow you to level up faster. I made a video talking about that. These are perks that allow you to get nukes a lot more often, and the first perk that I use is Fast Recover. The second perk that I use is Vulture. That basically allows me to stay alive and get ammo constantly. And the third perk I use is Hardline. And depending on how far you progressed in the game, a frag grenade or trip mine will be perfect for this class, because you might be one of those camping light machine gun guys hiding in the back trying to get some long range fire over against the enemies. It's a very great weapon, the RPD. You unlock it at level 19, and I think it is one of the best beginner weapons for the light machine gun class. Alrighty, let's jump into weapon number 2, which is the M4. Now, the gameplay that you guys are seeing is me using one of the Halloween skins that they released recently, but I haven't even upgraded the M4 and have yet to even upgrade it to get the extra perk that some of the skinned weapons give you. So this is literally just an M4 with the skin on it, and the attachments that I suggest for this weapon, and honestly, with any of these weapons, you can use whatever attachments you feel comfortable with, but with the M4 specifically, I like making it more of a faster class. So I always put on the red dot, and usually most of the weapons that I use, I got the red dot on. And again, every single weapon I have the foregrip. The foregrip helps increase your accuracy and helps improve your aim a lot better. I put the quick draw on the M4 so that I can move a lot faster, make my gameplay a lot faster, and just continue becoming more fast on the battlefield compared to my enemy who might be moving slower. So the faster I can move to attack my target is the best outcome for myself. And then again, I've got extended mags on all these weapons so that I have an advantage with more ammo against the enemy. So that's what I'm going to be using for today's video with the M4, the red dot foregrip, we've got the quick draw, and we've got the extended mag for the M4. Now, secondary wise, you can use a pistol, you can use a knife. Honestly, that's all up to you. If you guys want to have more chance of survivability, I would suggest using a pistol. But if you spend money on the game and you got the Karambit knife, or you have a new knife that you want to show off, then you're more than welcome to use a knife. Again, we've got the same perks on, like I mentioned last time. You can use the same grenades or stuns or whatever you want to use, and you can use the same operator skills as well. It doesn't really change in terms of perks and stuff. If you guys do want to switch it up and make a really hardcore class, then I would suggest putting on Dead Silence. You can even put on a suppressor for the M4 to make it harder for people to see you on the radar. You can change up Vulture and maybe replace it with Toughness. That reduces your flinch when you're being shot. That gives you more of a survivability. And then if you want to replace Fast Recover, you can replace it with Agile, Lightweight. There's a lot of things that you can change around. And I am going to be making videos talking more specifically about specific weapons, specific perks, stuff like that. But again, today's video is more specifically talking about these 3 weapons. And the M4, a lot of people put this weapon down and say it's not that great of a weapon, but for beginners, the M4 is literally perfect. It's the first weapon you unlock. It's one of the best assault rifles. It is not the best assault rifle, but it has really good accuracy, and I feel like it is an assault rifle that if I don't feel like I'm not doing super well that day, it's a good, reliable assault rifle to always have your back. Alright, so we talked about assault rifles, we talked about light machine guns, and now we're going to be talking about the submachine gun, the AKS-74U. Now the submachine gun genre is a more fast-paced gameplay kind of genre. You're going to be moving a lot more faster. The mobility on the AKS is 75. Let's compare that to their, I guess, brother, the AK-47, where the mobility is 60. So you're moving a little bit faster with the AKS, and you will be moving and feeling a lot more faster if you switch from the AKS from the RPD, which is a light machine gun. You're going to be moving a lot more faster. It's almost going to feel like you're sprinting instead of walking. It's pretty crazy. The AKS is one of my favorite weapons, and what makes it a submachine gun is it's just like a smaller version of the AK-47, and I feel like it is so much fun to use. It was one of the weapons that I was always using when I first started playing the game. It was one of the first weapons that I leveled up, I maxed out, and every time I get a new weapon skin for the AKS, I always level it up. And one thing that I guess is good to note is a great way to learn a weapon is to not use your XP cards, and you figure out the weapon without any attachments, figure out what attachments you like on the weapon, and that's what I do for every single weapon I have, is not use my XP cards. That's why I have literally hundreds of XP cards right now. The AKS, let's talk about the attachments real quick. Again, we got the red dot sight. This submachine gun, it cannot have the tactical scope, which is like the ACOG scope or the 4x scope. And then of course I've got the foregrip on this weapon because the submachine guns, their recoil and the accuracy is a lot far less than, let's say, an assault rifle, because assault rifles are meant to be more accurate and more long range, while the submachine guns are meant to be more close range. And of course, we have the extended mag for the AKS-74U, and very specifically on my submachine guns, I like putting the stocks because it increases your move speed while aiming. In my setup, I'm always aiming, so I guess I'm always aiming when I'm fighting my enemy. So being able to move back and forth and have better aim and be faster moving than the enemy, it gives me the advantage of hitting them more often because I'm more confident in my shot, and them being confused with me moving all around and just being a tryhard at that point. Secondary, again, you can have a knife, you can have a pistol, and with your attachments and your perks and all that stuff, it can be the same as all the other classes. Although with the submachine gun, if you do put lightweight on or anything that makes you move even faster than you already are moving, then you're going to be very fast on the battlefield. And the whole point of using the submachine gun is to be really fast. So guys, that was it for my top 3 beginner weapons in Call of Duty Mobile. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys agree with me. Let me know if you guys disagree with me. And let me know if you enjoyed today's video by subscribing and leaving a thumbs up. I would love to make more tips and tricks videos like this in the future for you guys, so showing your support definitely shows me that I should make more videos. I plan on making a top 3 pro weapon guide video, and I also have made some leveling guides and some other videos in the past, and maybe later down the road when I have a ton of tips and tricks videos, I'm going to put them all in a playlist so you guys can watch and enjoy them. Whenever they release new weapons, I'm definitely going to be making a guide on that weapon. I wanted to make a guide checking out the Sparrow, which is one of the new operator skills, but I might wait to do that later down the road. And I know that they will be releasing newer weapons, new gameplay features, new maps, new modes, and even the zombies mode. I wouldn't mind making tips and tricks videos. I've been playing Call of Duty since like 2007 or something, since Call of Duty 4 was released, and I'm a huge fan of Call of Duty, so making these videos is like a dream come true. So if you guys want to continue this dream, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And again, I hope you enjoy today's gameplay, today's discussion, and the top 3 beginner weapon guide. Anyways guys, my name is Metalcore, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
UAV recon ready for deployment. Friendly nuke launched. Friendly nuke launched.